Hello and welcome to The Limelight, your go-to podcast for all things marketing and SEO. I'm Chandler. I'm a digital marketing specialist here at Digital Limelight Media, and I'm thrilled to be one of your hosts. Each week, we dive deep into the world of digital marketing, bringing you expert insights, industry news, and actionable strategies to help you elevate your online presence and stay ahead of the curve.
Whether you're a marketer, an entrepreneur, or just curious about the dynamics of digital marketing, tune in to the In the Limelight podcast as we unlock the secrets to achieving optimized impact in the digital realm.
So join Lauren and I as we explore the exciting and ever-evolving landscape of digital marketing right here, The Limelight.
Welcome back to the Limelight podcast. This is Lauren.
This is Chandler.
And today we're going to talk about building your brand persona online. But first, let's start with our lime and lemon. Now, Chandler, what are your lime and lemons this week?
So I'm going to start with the good this time. So I'm going to start with my lime. I would say my lime is honestly... Okay, so DLM does this thing where we all kind of get together and play pickleball. Mm-hmm. And I've literally only went once, but I'm like, oh, it's my lifestyle now. I'm actually identifying as a pickleball superstar.
Pickleballer.
Yes.
Simply, yeah.
Oh, 100%. That is my life's purpose, is to play pickleball. And then I would probably say my lemon is that... Okay, so this is going to sound a little weird, but I have this weird thing with where when I take notes for clients and stuff, I have to write with a Sharpie ultra fine marker. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. Like, I can't write with a pencil. I can't write with a pen. I literally have to write with a Sharpie ultra fine. And I went to Meijer 2 nights ago and they didn't have any. So I had to order some on Amazon. So I've had to take 3 days of writing notes with pens. And it's like, sounds so stupid, but I'm like, it's stressing me out.
No, I get it though, because my favorite pens, and I literally only have one left because I ordered a box of like 50 of them when I was in college, and it's been like a few years now. And I literally have one left. It's on my desk here. They like shipped from Japan. They're perfect, but yeah, they shipped from Japan. So
that's what I'm saying. I would guard that pen with my life.
An everyday order. Yeah, I need to like get another bulk pack again.
You
like
do.
I get it. Like,
and
I'm such a pen
one.
snob. Oh yeah, no. Like, we'll do a double order.
Okay, period.
We'll do a double order. So I think that my lemon this week. Oh, I know what my lemon is this week. So we went out to lunch today, as we do every once in a while. You know, work hard, play hard. We went out to a little place called Nola Burger. It is amazing over on Bridge Street. I love. They have a really good, like, vegan chicken sandwich. But they like mayonnaised it up today. I don't know what was going on.
Today's theme was mayonnaise.
It literally was mayonnaise. It was like what you envision, like a New Yorker's bagel was like mayonnaise.
Oh,
it was like
that is such a good description.
Yeah, no, it was thick on my like vegan chicken sandwich.
It was honestly mayo with a side of a vegan chicken sandwich.
It was, and like it's good. I don't mind it, but what I do mind is when I picked up my sandwich to eat it, a big glob came out and spilled all down the front of my like baby blue, white, or not so white, sad. But like no, I literally took the tags off of this dress this morning. It's from Old Navy, Slay.
You said Slay.
No, it's cute. So I'm gonna try and get it out because I like just bought this dress.
Okay.
It was like on clearance though, so I guess if I got one wear out of it for what I paid for it, it probably paid itself off.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I don't want to steal your line, but like now you got me really excited about pickleball today.
I'm telling you.
No, the weather has been so perfect. Like the last few days have been really fun that we've played. And then last week we made a friend. I'm not going to name his name because I'm going to protect his privacy, but he was an older gentleman that had like played tennis. I don't know if he was a pro or just like a really good tennis player, but he came and he kicked our butts. It was really fun. And I always like to say it's really fun to play against people that are better than you because that's how you learn.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. And I think he's meeting us there again today. So I'm like kind of excited.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I can't wait for Farmer to kick his butt.
I'm so excited.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. But okay, Lauren, what are we going to talk about today?
So the basics of building your online persona. Who are you? Who is your brand online? So yeah, exactly. What is that? What is your personal branding to you? Like when you think about how to represent yourself online, like what goes into that?
So I think it's kind of interesting because for me it almost like is divided up into two different like main pillars of brand identity. I think it kind of breaks down into the first pillar, which is like a actual person. Like, who are you as a person that posts on LinkedIn, or who are you as a person that even just posts on like TikTok and social media? I think you can kind of build a like brand identity with a singular person and kind of who they are and what they do and kind of what your niche is. And then I think the other side of that, or the other pillar, is more what is your business's persona and what are you kind of portraying as. For example, like, who is Digital Limelight Media? Like, what is their type of brand voice? Who are they really marketing to? I think it kind of boils down to not necessarily like what you are, but how you are really having your clients and even future clients or even just the general public digest your content.
Yeah, I think I'll start off with an example of kind of that individual brand persona. I think a person that does a really good job kind of representing themselves and their brand online, and it now has come out and admitted that they're different than they represent themselves to be, but someone that really resonates with that, I think, is Paris Hilton. Like, when you think of Paris Hilton, like, you probably think of way back with The Simple Life with Nicole, and she's very like baby talk, kind of girly, definitely girly, a lot like kind of spoiled rich brat kind of vibe was what she was giving off. But I mean, now more and more we've learned about like her struggles with the Elon School and all these other things, and she's been pretty outspoken, and how she's represented herself in court and with that situation is very different than how she's represented herself. And she's done these interviews that are like, oh yeah, like I very much put on a front, like I put on a mask, like when I'm Paris Hilton of like The Simple Life, this is who I am, but that's not really who I am. So yeah, no, I think that she has done just an amazing job. And like, I mean, what do you think of when you think of Paris Hilton?
I think of Pink, DJing, and money.
Exactly. And that's just like, her personal brand is so strong.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think it's really interesting because there's so many types of people that have really strong like brand identities, even if it's like people that have kind of built careers off of their brand personalities. Like, for example, like Emma Chamberlain.
Yes.
Like, she's one of the few people that have really catapulted into like a celebrity status. And for example, she's like walked fashion runways. She's the main interviewer at the Met Gala. Like, it's just really interesting to see like who and how you're able to really create who you are online to really build your next steps when it comes to creating a business off of yourself, or even just like pushing your business to the next level. Yeah,
definitely. Now, when you think of a brand that has a really good personality online, who's someone that you think of?
So I think everyone is going to say this. This is like the main one I feel like everyone talks about, but Duolingo is seriously like the epitome of a perfect online persona.
They're so good.
They're so good. And they honestly, like, they are probably the business that gets the most traction and like engagement when it comes to their content. I don't know of any other company or even app that gets 10 plus million views on almost every single video they post on TikTok.
It's honestly so crazy, like the brand that they've created for themselves. I mean, everybody knows the owl, that Duolingo green. They have like just a really strong presence on TikTok, Instagram, even their other country accounts, because they have a lot of, you know, Duolingo Germany. They like kind of take elements of like Germany's culture. Like they make a lot of jokes about like Berlin's rave culture, and they like post things about that. Like I think it's so cool that they really are like boots on the ground, like I am a part of this culture. Like we're not only incorporating parts from the culture, but like adding in parts of our brand. So they'll have like the Duolingo owl in like an underground rave, like pretending to be like the Berghain or something. I think it's really cool.
I think it has kind of like almost like broken into this new like field or this new area that I don't think brands thought they could ever achieve. Absolutely. I don't think they thought they could be like a constant meme. And I think that what kind of gives them like sort of their edge is whatever the trending like topic or like the trending like, you know, the whatever's like really blowing up on TikTok, like Duolingo knows to jump in that and make it their own, and like being able to use their own unique twists on every single thing.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Another one that I think is kind of interesting, they did a little bit of a different take, lesser so like the brand identity themselves, but they kind of created their own personality for their specific social media challenge or channels is going to be Wendy's, specifically on their Twitter account. Like, remember back a few years ago, everybody was tweeting at Wendy's to get them to say these like sassy things, and it was going viral, and it was like a crazy good marketing campaign because everybody's like obsessed with Wendy's all of a sudden.
Oh,
and they're just
100%.
being sassy online, and everybody knows like, oh, it's the Wendy's Twitter. And I think that has inspired so many other brands to not only be sassy but just have a little bit of personality online. I think that's the one of the big things that really kick-started brands having more personality and just like being more involved with not only their fan bases but just people online, like being into the online conversation. I mean, nowadays you're in the comments of a popular TikTok, it's brands left and right. It's so interesting.
Oh, 100%. And like even right now there's like a trend on I'm so sorry, I don't know exactly. I think there's like a new football game coming out or something, and it's like they will text their partners and be like, "Hey, how many likes for you to buy me this game?" And then the partner always replies with, "And the Detroit Lions have to comment." And then every single person is tagging the Detroit Lions, and then the Detroit Lions will comment. And it's like, even that just within itself shows that like you are wanting to get connected and like get in on the joke and like have a good time. I think
Absolutely.
so many people are too like caught up in making sure everything about how you present yourself is like pristine and perfect, which I think that's 100% like important. But I think in today's day and age, you have to be able to like kind of relax a little bit and be flexible in your joking manner, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's really just kind of finding a way to like stand out and be you and kind of be unique online. There's tons of ways to do that, from like the tone that you choose. I mean, right there, Wendy's is a great example of that kind of sassy tone. It became their signature thing, and everybody knew that Wendy's Twitter, the specific audience that you're targeting can really determine like what you're trying to do. I mean, if you're looking for Gen Z, yeah, be sassy online. If you're maybe
Exactly.
more like Gen X or like framing at boomers, they want a little bit more professionalism, a little bit more like respect for the consumer. They're, the customer's always right generation.
Yeah.
So, just know who you're talking to and like what you should kind of be doing. And then just kind of the general vibe and aesthetics. I mean, from the colors to the kind of graphics and images that you choose, you can really cater to your audience and your specific aesthetic that you're going for.
Yeah, I think just having like overall consistency on your brand voice, your imagery that you use, even like the color schemes that you use, and just like everything overall, I think that that's something that can really help kind of really like polish off your brand identity and your brand voice, so that everyone, when they see these mix of colors, when they see that font, when they see like a funny, like sassy kind of voice or a very serious toned, like professional educational piece, they know who they're interacting with.
Absolutely. And then circling back to what you're talking about, how so many people think they want that perfect, absolutely professional persona online. So many consumers now want just something real. Like, a lot of even like makeup brands have been moving towards, not photoshopping as much or using non-retouched models. I know American Eagle and Aerie did that campaign. I think other brands have been doing it too, where they're not using retouched models. They're trying to use people with more diverse bodies, and not even diverse. I don't want to call it that. It's just like normal looking. Like, they look like you and I. They don't look necessarily like models. They look like everyday people. Like, we want that realness, we want that like transparency, that vulnerability behind the brand.
Yeah, I think that's definitely kind of where we're headed, in terms of if it's like maybe a bit more of a aesthetics in terms of like clothing, jewelry, makeup, any type of like that beauty industry. I think we've kind of seen a lot of progress when it comes to a lot of people that are buying from these companies want the companies to stand for what's right, and also be putting out realistic standards and like realistic imagery that people can connect to the brand with.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I can say even within my own clients, like a lot of my younger doctors, especially younger women doctors, plastic surgeon, med spas, things like that, are moving towards more like real looking models, like natural looking bodies. They want, more people of color, more men on their websites, more non-binary people, androgynous looking people, maybe like racially ambiguous, things like that. Like it's not all just like straight passing white, blonde, skinny, attractive people on a beach anymore. My clients are asking for images that look like real people. They want to represent what their population and their specific audience looks like, and they want people to know, come as you are. Like you don't have to come as your, if you're not skinny, white, blonde, that traditional American, like when you think of like that kind of stereotype, if you're not that, like you're still welcome. Like it's moving towards more of a body positivity. But I will say I still have some older doctors that are a little bit more of that like early 2000s kind of like Pamela Anderson-esque, like that's what they're going for. It's the really petite woman with the larger breast in the blondes and the imagery, a lot of bikinis, things like that. So yeah, like you can really kind of tailor it to your own brand, I think, as long as you're not being like offensive or anything. Like, go for what your audience wants.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's something where like when you're trying to do what you think the audience wants, it kind of almost opens up this door to where like people can make mistakes, or it can be like a bad version of what they thought was good.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Like, yeah, for example, like I think something that like first comes to my mind is like for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, where all these companies will just kind of make all of their logos pink and then not donate to any sort of cancer foundations. I'm like, that's not necessarily helpful. I mean, I guess I can see how you thought that would be helpful, but you're not actually helping for the cause. And in some way, shape, or form, at some point, someone is going to find out that you did not donate, and then that's going to make you look performative, and that's not something that you want to have attached to your brand identity.
Absolutely. Another kind of recent example I think that we can pull from is JoJo Siwa. If you have been around online in the year of spring 2024, you've probably seen her rebrand her song Karma. She went from like the rainbow, the glitter, the bows to more of like
goth,
a bad
like
girl,
black, like eyeliner,
kind of like
stars on her eyes.
Yeah, she's trying to be like a bad girl. She's swearing in her songs. She's like getting drunk at Disney. Well, it was her 21st birthday, so whatever. But she had this big rebrand that I think she was hoping, she saw stars like Miley Cyrus and maybe like Amanda Bynes and Lindsay Lohan go through this kind of bad girl phase. But I think she's just not really a bad girl. She's always kind of been like clean cut, like good kid, family friendly, like pretty rated G. And everybody can see like how inauthentic this rebrand is, and she's just getting absolutely flamed online. And I kind of feel bad for her. Like someone on her marketing team should have either told her no, or whoever came up with that idea should have really rethought that. I mean, it just comes off as so inauthentic, and I want her to win so bad. I want her to do good.
Yeah, I think when like everyone is getting like dogpiled on the internet, I'm like, okay,
it's hard.
We have to like think about what we're doing, and then also like we're all rooting for you. We want you to not be dogpiled.
So I think that there's so many ways that she could have gone about that rebrand in a more authentic way. That just came off as money grab. Like her new album just comes off as that, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, really good examples of how your authenticity or your inauthenticity, oh my goodness, can kind of set you up for failure or set you up for success online.
Nearly 6 million searches happen on Google every minute. What if your business could be the answer to some of those searches? With Google Ads, it can be. Google dominates search engines with over 91% of the market share, making it the ultimate platform to boost your visibility. With Google Ads, you can target a specific audience. Whether it's by age, location, language, your ad reaches the right people at the right time. With Digital Limelight Media, you have control. Our expert team will help you choose when your ads show and how often they appear. With Google Ads, you only pay when someone clicks. From search ads that appear right at the top of the page when someone is looking for your services, to display ads that catch eyes on other websites, Google Ads offer a variety of ways to make your brand stand out. And with our in-depth analytics and transparent reporting, you'll see exactly how your ads are performing and how you can get even better results. Ready to turn searches into sales? Visit dlmconversion.com today and let us illuminate the path to your digital success.
Okay.
What?
I almost said something naughty.
Oh.
Anyway,
I think also something.
sorry. Sorry, I don't know why I laughed.
Okay, sorry.
We'll just keep rolling.
Okay. I think something that's like really kind of important to keep in when we're talking about brand personas and also just engaging with people as a brand or a persona is definitely like hearing whether they like something, whether they don't like something, or whether they do like something in terms of like feedback and criticism. I think everyone has kind of seen brands be canceled. I think everyone's seen a lot of people like very, very angry about certain things. I think it's kind of important to navigate those negative comments and, really figure out like, does this have a lot of credibility? Should we kind of take this into account? Like,
Yeah, I think everybody's afraid of the big C word, which it's canceled. Everybody's afraid
Plot
to
twist.
be canceled.
Canceled.
Yeah, everybody, like you just hear it online, like so many people like, oh, so-and-so is canceled, or I don't want to be canceled for doing this or whatever. It's, a lot of that comes down to who are you trying to portray to, if you're on the right spot, if you're hitting the target with your target audience, with the content that you put out, you probably shouldn't worry about being canceled. I mean, a lot of people that get canceled put the wrong thing out for their target audience, or perhaps, they're not target audience. Someone outside of their target audience gets a hold of their content. That's a whole other story. I will say maybe don't post something controversial online. If you're worried about being canceled, but I think that if you're posting earnestly, if you're posting authentically, if you're posting things that your audience wants to see, you really don't have to be worried about being canceled. I mean, we don't see med spas being canceled for posting May specials and things like that. Yeah,
exactly. I think it's also important because you have to remember, I think part of the brand identity is just knowing who you are and being able to have that self-recognition. So for example, Duolingo, they can say, I would say majority of things that I would say almost anyone else would be canceled for.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's like very like welcomed because that's built up like their brand tone of voice and like who they are.
Yeah.
They say stuff that is very edgy and they have received such great feedback from that. But like I said, as a medical professional, probably not the best idea.
Yeah, like Duolingo can say, we're coming to hunt you down in your sleep if you don't do your French lesson tonight.
Exactly.
But like if Dr. Miami comes down and is like, I'm going to hunt y'all down if you're not here in my clinic getting your BBLs,
Exactly, yeah.
Huh. Just maybe, think about who you're trying to reach. Think about who you're trying to talk to. Another thing I like to say is know when to not post. Know when maybe you shouldn't be putting in a comment. I've seen a lot of brands online maybe not even get canceled, just get kind of clapped back at their funny comments that they're doing in like TikTok videos or Instagram comments or things like that. Maybe if the conversation is about a sensitive topic, don't make a funny comment. Like, you can still be sassy, like Wendy's and Duolingo, or is it Duolingo or Duolingo?
Lingo.
Slay. I've been saying it wrong this whole episode. Anyway.
I don't think you have you?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll listen back. But yeah, so, know kind of who your brand persona is. If all of a sudden one day you decide to be like sassy online and you clap back, people might be stunned. People might be offended, especially if your audience is not that type of person. Know when to take a step back. If you're getting a lot of criticism online that you don't necessarily think is warranted, turn your phone off.
Yeah.
Turn the computer off. Step back for a second. But most importantly, know when it's time to take accountability and know when to apologize. First and foremost, make that apology feel really, truly authentic. When we just hear people say things and we don't believe it, you know, that's when trust is lost. But I think when brands have like a really good apology and they're like able to take accountability and, you know, even better, make points of change, you know, that's when people are able to forgive. So, you know, if you mess up online, which happens, know when to take a step back and apologize.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just taking accountability if there was any sort of issues or anything is extremely important. But I think overall, this will not necessarily be an issue if you kind of just figure out who you are and stick to, you know, every company has brand guidelines and has a brand voice. And, you know, I think it's just really important to kind of hone in and then take advantage of that. Lauren, do you have any like key takeaways before we end the episode?
I think, you know, if you're really struggling online with finding your persona, you know, don't be afraid to reach out to a marketing firm, a branding firm, a PR firm, Digital Limelight Media, perhaps.
Exactly.
Someone like us, you know,
Exactly.
let someone outside take a look at your business and kind of guide you. Let us, you know, be able to kind of pinpoint the audience that you're looking for. Let us find where your audience already is and be able to kind of guide you along to tell you like what social platforms work for you. You know, people like us, we offer social media services too. So if you want like a really good, consistent brand persona online, but you just don't have time for that, we've got people for that. You know, we have PR help too. And then, you know, if you're getting canceled online and you feel like you're getting dogpiled, don't feel like you have to go through that alone. There's crisis managers out there, PR people. Again, I have to plug DLM. We have a public relations side of our business. And I think that so many people just don't know how to interact and they don't know how to apologize and they don't know how to make statements and things like that. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. Like, absolutely reach out for help. The best, biggest companies that get through scandals unscathed have a PR firm behind them. They're not doing it alone.
100%. I feel like every single key point that I had, you just took exactly out of my mouth.
Aw.
But I think if anything else, it would basically just to be like really sit with who you are as a company or a persona. And like, I promise you that figuring every single detail out and ironing out any sort of issues on who you are and what you identify and the colors, the voice, like the graphics, the music, like every single thing, once it is all honed in and you find that perfect harmony, that is kind of when your stride is really going to take off.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. I think we're on episode 7 of In the Limelight. Thanks for sticking along with us, everyone. And don't forget to check back for more interesting topics in the marketing world.
Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and smash that like button, guys.
Woo! Bye now.
Yeah.